A farmer in Ethiopia sells coffee for $1.20 a pound. That same pound hits your local cafe at $6.50, and here's the trick: the farmer sees almost none of that gap. For the last 2 centuries, we've been told a clean story. Global trade lifts all boats. Coffee moved from Ethiopia and Colombia to Europe and America, and everyone got richer. Economies grew, cities expanded. The narrative is so comfortable that most people still believe it. But the ledger tells a different story, one where the structure of the supply chain was designed, intentionally or not, to extract value at every middle step. Start in the 1600s. Dutch traders planted coffee in Java. Portuguese colonizers moved it to Brazil. By 1850, coffee was the second most traded commodity on earth after sugar. Here's what mattered: every step from farm to port to auction house to roaster to retailer added a middleman. Each one took a cut. The farmer who grew the beans sat at the bottom of a pyramid that got steeper every decade. Fast forward to today. A Colombian farmer grows coffee on 3 acres. The harvest yields about 600 pounds. A local buyer, a middleman, comes to the farm and offers $1.20 per pound. The farmer has no warehouse, no way to store or ship independently. The buyer has market information, the farmer doesn't. The farmer accepts. That's $720 gross. After labor, water, fertilizer, tools, roughly $200 profit. The buyer sells to an exporter for $1.80. The exporter sells to a roaster for $3.40. The roaster sells to a cafe for $5.20. And here's the trick: each middleman justified their margin by claiming they absorbed risk, storage, spoilage, shipping delays, currency swings. Some did, but the asymmetry was brutal. The farmer bore crop risk. The buyer bore market risk, but only the buyer could negotiate. The farmer was a price taker, not a price maker. This structure wasn't accidental. It was built into colonial trade law and inherited by modern commodity markets. The real cost arrived in the 1970s and 80s. Commodity futures markets opened in New York and London. Coffee prices could now be bet on before a single bean left the soil. Speculators who'd never touched a coffee plant began trading contracts. When speculation spiked, prices crashed at origin. Farmers had no hedge. A bumper harvest in Brazil could tank prices across Africa overnight. The farmer's $200 profit evaporated. By the 2010s, the structure had calcified. A cafe in Manhattan paid $5 for a latte made from beans a Kenyan farmer sold for $0.80 per pound. The farmer's share of the final retail price, around 5 to 10%. The roaster, distributor, and cafe split the rest. Consolidation made it worse. 3 companies now control over 60% of global coffee trading. Information asymmetry became absolute. What changed the math? Transparency mechanisms. Some cooperatives began aggregating small farmers, giving them collective bargaining power. Direct trade models cut out the middlemen entirely, roasters buying straight from farms. These aren't charity, they're structural fixes. A farmer selling through a cooperative might see $2.40 per pound instead of $1.20. That's not because the roaster got altruistic. It's because removing one middleman redistributes the margin. The supply chain didn't become fairer, it became shorter. The lesson isn't that coffee is broken. It's that every supply chain is a distribution of power and information. Whoever controls the data controls the price. The farmer who knows only what the local buyer tells them will always lose to the buyer who knows global futures prices, storage costs, and shipping routes. This structure exists in cocoa, wheat, and palm oil too. It's not a bug, it's the feature. Once you see how the money flows, you can't unsee it. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to keep uncovering the hidden economics buried inside the industries you thought you understood. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.